Welcome to the latest edition of Overreaction Monday. I'm Rich. That's Chris. We are with you here, either in your ear gate, wherever you can get your podcasts, or on our YouTube channel, which we greatly appreciate. YouTube.com/Rich Eisen Show. Lots to talk about, including another coach getting fired. And as soon as we are done today, we've got our flagship show, and you go off to Germany.
I'm out of here, baby.
You and TJ are leaving after the flagship show on Monday.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing the show from Munich all week.
Can't wait.
I'm arriving later in the week. I'm calling Panthers-Giants.
Off a win.
Off a win for the Panthers.
Let's go.
Not just any win, but got somebody else fired type win.
I was off by 4 days.
Unbelievable. And this is brought to you, as always, by Game Time. Make sure that you get this app on a mobile device near you and start buying tickets. It's the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use our code OVERREACTION. You get $20 off your first purchase. It is unbelievable. I don't know if you've created a last-minute overreaction subject matter for Dennis Allen, have you?
I did not.
Okay, so then just quickly discuss it.
Yeah.
It's wild how the Saints go 2-0, score 91 points in going 2-0,
Yep.
and then don't win a game after that.
That's crazy.
7 losses in a row.
Unreal.
And the first win that they had was a complete, total, utter domination of the Carolina Panthers, to the point where it set in motion the benching of Bryce Young just 2 games into the season. And then Bryce Young gets back in the saddle because of an accident suffered by Andy Dalton behind the wheel with his family in the car. Good Lord. And Bryce Young gets enough sea legs under him with one start before the rematch against the Saints, beats the Saints, and that causes the dominoes to tumble for Dennis Allen to get fired.
Unbelievable.
You can't make it up.
And that was just, I don't know if that's the peak of the craziness that was week 9. There was so much weird stuff that happened. The games were so crazy.
Well, if we're like Saquon Barkley, let's leap backwards into this edition of Overreaction Monday. Hit it.
That was terrible. That was crap. That was garbage. This place sucks.
Overreaction Monday.
All right, Christopher, have at it. Here we go.
And before that, like Devontae Smith's touchdown catch.
I know.
Just when we thought we saw the greatest catch of the season with Garrett Wilson on Thursday.
I know. That really was unbelievable.
My God.
Getting both feet down before his knee hit out of bounds.
Unbelievable.
That both toe tips.
Toe tips. And
it was unreal.
Oh, man. Craziness.
If I only wasn't going against Jalen Hurts in fantasy. Okay, here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we go.
I had A.J. Brown. How'd that go? All right, Rich. We had such a great time with this season. It was so enjoyable. The highs were high, and unfortunately, the lows are low. Rich, Flacco's season is over. The Colts should go back to Anthony Richardson.
Oh, my God.
ASAP.
They're not going to do that. I can't imagine they would do that. That's an overreaction. And let's just say this, though. It certainly did not at all work out for Shane Steichen the way that he was hoping it would work out in the first start with Joe Flacco.
No.
Because the offense was stagnant, and Flacco, on occasion ripped it, deep shots over the middle in a way that Anthony Richardson has not successfully done with as much consistency. Yes, we did see some consistency on that front Sunday night with Flacco, but the run game wasn't existent.
Zero. Where was Jonathan
gone.
Taylor?
I don't know. The run game, it wasn't complementary football, and you would assume with Flacco you'd get that. I will say this, that Flacco didn't show like he was too old, right? It didn't show like he didn't have the arm strength. It didn't show like he didn't have the neck-up ability to dissect the defense and do what the Colts need to do to matriculate the ball down the field. A great game-opening drive ended with a botched handoff that you never see. Like, it's one of those it was like a once-in-a-blue-moon type situation.
Sure.
Okay. So, it just didn't work out. It's one of those Sundays you chalk up to a defense that, by the way, is pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. And if I'm the Vikings, I feel very good about that performance on the defensive side of the ball and hope that we're not seeing Sam Darnold regressing to the mean at this point in time.
Couple of throws, you're like,
well, I mean, he had 3 turnovers on Sunday night. He didn't take care of the football, including the one where he gave it right back on their opening drive to the Colts. Right. Well, I mean, he did march down the field and then stared right at Zaire Franklin and hit him between the fours.
Yeah, they got a pick, and then he gave it right back.
So I'll call this an overreaction, that it is not.
Felt like Richardson could have made some plays with his feet last night that maybe could have.
Dude, you can't.
Flacco was getting.
But this is the thing. Like,
blitzed out of his mind.
Is that Brian Flores is really good at his job. This defense is really good at the job that he gives them, the task that he gives them. And to send, a 22-year-old who has trouble seeing the field into that may have had something to do with it as well. So you're seeing the results saying, maybe informing part of the decision to go to Flacco and sit Anthony Richardson. That's the way I'm going to look at the results, rather than the results saying Flacco's done, go back and reverse course and throw that kid out there against Buffalo at home. And then on Sunday Night Football at the Jets, and then home against Detroit. I mean, that's where you need Flacco to start looking over the line of scrimmage and try and dissect stuff. So for the foreseeable future means this is an overreaction.
Okay.
What else, sir?
You know who's balling right now, Rich?
Okay.
Your MVP pick before the season.
Jared Goff.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, yes.
Joe Burrow. He's on a pace for 40 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards. He's balling, and the Bengals are going to make the playoffs.
I guess I need to see the standings before I make my oh, thank you.
Rich,
there they are.
ask and thou shalt receive.
I am now receiving. Yeah, they're 4-5, a game behind the Broncos. Tied with the Colts.
Broncos got humbled on Sunday.
Well, I mean, it just was a measuring stick game, and the Ravens took the measuring stick and hit the Broncos over the head with it.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, you know how I feel about the Bengals. You're not going to twist my arm here, man. How about this one? They're at Baltimore on Thursday night.
I know.
That'll be going on in the middle of the night while we're in Munich.
How are we going to watch that? Because that's like a 2 a.m., 2:30 start.
We'll discuss it on the flagship show today. But
I'm going to get up. I don't care what you guys say.
I have some experience doing this. I'm happy to talk with you about it and talk it out. Then they're out here to the Chargers before a bye. They got 2 games left with Pittsburgh, home game with Cleveland. They're at Dallas, at Tennessee, home for Denver. These are all winnable games. So
they split with Pittsburgh, beat Dallas, beat Tennessee, beat Cleveland, beat Denver.
They absolutely. I don't think this is an overreaction to say that they're going to make the playoffs. And they got T. Higgins coming back, hopefully. Mike Gesicki.
Where'd that come from?
Well, I mean, Eric All got hurt, and maybe for the rest of the season, so they're just going to start just drilling down with this Gesicki.
Doing the gritty in the end zone.
What did I tell you about Chase Brown coming into the season?
Yeah, that was huge.
They went with Zach Moss instead to start giving him the lion's share of the carries. Chase didn't get in on goal to go situations from like the 2 or the 3. They might miss a battering ram aspect with Chase Brown, but that dude can make plays, man. And so, the Bengals are making the playoffs. I said it before the season. I'm going to stick with it. I don't think they're going to win the division like I predicted. By the way, also the same thing with the Dolphins. I don't think they're going to win the division.
I don't remember us picking the Dolphins, to be honest.
Very good. Hazy memory. That's not an overreaction. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, good. All right. How about this one? Okay. I think you might like this one. This is a little spicy. The ship be sinking in Dallas. It might actually just be sunk.
3-5.
It's over. Their season is toast. Micah Parsons should ask for a trade instead of re-signing with the Cowboys.
Come on, man.
Why do you want to be part of that? You're going to have a new coach next year, whole new defensive scheme. Zimmer's not back either. They've been terrible. Why do you want to hitch your wagon to this squad?
Because you're a Dallas Cowboy,
They've done nothing for you. That doesn't mean anything these days.
I think it does.
It literally means nothing. They haven't won in over 30 years.
I think it does.
Being a Cowboy is zip into 2024.
So you should request a trade to go...
Get out.
Somewhere else
where you can actually win with a team that actually cares about winning.
This is not going to happen. The whole all-in strategy is knowing that Micah's going to have to get paid and the Cowboys are going to do it.
You think CeeDee Lamb regrets sticking around?
No.
You think Dak regrets it?
No.
His bank account looks nice, but they're not going to win.
Not right now. Not at this point in time.
Not ever. What signs point to them ever being winning?
What if Bill comes in next?
I don't think he's going there.
You don't think so?
No.
Why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
because Parcells did it, and I think
how'd
he
that
just
work out, and how'd that work out for Bill?
Well, I mean, he had Romo. Don't you think Dak's a little better than Romo?
I don't.
Okay,
actually.
All right. I don't think he should ask for a trade. I think that the ship is in fact sinking. I do believe there will be a changing of the guard there. I do believe we are not going to see the storybook ending that Jerry is now suddenly in some remarkable optimistic haze that's come over him. He's talking about. But to ask for a trade in the next 24 hours, you know what the last thing the Cowboys are going to do at 3-5, and everyone's wondering who's coming here.
No,
and
but
the fact
offseason.
The fact that the ship is sinking, is to trade him in the next 24 hours. They're never going to do that.
You think teams are calling?
I would. Of course I would. But, that would be a quick hang up if you're the Dallas Cowboys.
He should ask for it. He has the pod. He has the platform. I'm curious what he's going to say this week.
It's just things change so quickly in this league and can change so quickly in this league. Just take a look at the Chargers. Again, the Chargers. With the Chargers right now, Jim Harbaugh, what he is doing right
it's
now.
It's impressive.
Okay. And so coaching does matter. You don't see all the charging. You don't see the crazy stuff of ends of games coming out of nowhere, out of some sort of crazy ass hellscape cooked up by the football gods to rake the Charger fans over the coal on a fourth down situation here or a goal line situation there. Those moments are gone. Things are a lot more calm. They're a lot more organized. They're a lot more physical. And the offense is getting better. They're absolutely, in my mind, the Chargers going to make the playoffs. And I'm bringing them up here in the Cowboys conversation just by saying a coach coming in with a new set of eyes and a new way of doing things, and also a mandate from ownership to be left alone to do the job that you've hired him and paid him handsomely to do. I said that just to counsel all the Cowboys fans of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you're Micah and you got the star on the side of your helmet and you like living in Texas or you like living in the Metroplex, you're not paying any state tax, you like Dak, you like CD, you like some of your teammates, you're not asking for it. There
are better places to win in the next 10 years.
What else you got, sir?
Let's stay in the state of Texas, Rich. Let's go all the way back to Thursday because I wanted to circle back because I don't think we really got to dive into it. The Texans are frauds as AFC contenders.
Frauds means that they don't have what's in the locker room to change it.
I'm worried about my man, CJ Stroud.
I'm worried about protecting him up front.
Yeah.
I'm worried about the fact that there's a blueprint that the Vikings showed the Packers, who showed the Jets. That if you've got a front seven that can go hunt and you've got a defensive coordinator that can push the buttons at the right time, you can get in CJ Stroud's grill. Nico Collins returns this week just in time, or at least it's assumed he's returning just in time for the Lions. And so I can't sit here and call them frauds, but it is very difficult to see how they survive a, division round game on the road in Baltimore, or a division round game on the road in Buffalo, or a division round game on the road in Arrowhead, or if they somehow win one of those division games on the road, that they would survive an AFC championship game anywhere, or if it is possible, or a division round game in Pittsburgh.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
I'm saying when you look at the other teams in the AFC,
well, an opening round game would be they'd be home.
Who
they'd
are Chiefs challengers?
They're a different team at home. They're a different team at home.
I'm saying, but do you think they'd beat Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, even the Chargers right now in a playoff game?
Now it would be very difficult.
Cincinnati.
But again, things can change vastly in 2 months.
Sure.
And, unfortunately, Stephon Diggs is not walking through that door. I just think it's a tough word to call them frauds, meaning that they didn't really have the people to begin with and it was all smoke and mirrors. But to say that they are going to the Super Bowl, like you said prior to the season, I thought was a very good pick.
I felt much better about them.
Their protection problems up front are a major issue. Yeah. It's like the old runny nose of sports. If you can't protect your quarterback the same way you can't close a game in baseball, the same way that you can't make an open shot or defend the perimeter in basketball.
Totally.
That's a problem. if you want to win a championship. You may have individually some great players that can overcome this or that in the span of a regular season. But in a winner-go-home game, that usually comes up and bites you. So I'll just call that an overreaction that they're frauds as AFC contenders. But right now, it does not look good. Game time tickets. Let's talk about it a little bit more. With the football season, as we all know, hitting the cold weather, you want to make sure if you're going to a game that it's as comfortable as possible, that it doesn't bite you in the wallet as much as the frostbite might get you, that you actually see the field where you want to see it from. And the best way to do all that without being surprised by a ticket shock or a sticker shock when you check out, or surprised when you get to the game saying, wait a minute, this is where my seats are. You can't get that experience of being shocked with Game Time and Game Time Picks, which is a new feature to help you curate all the tickets you need. Take the fluff out. Only the incredible deals you're looking for are shown to you through Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork completely out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account. You can use our code OVERREACTION, get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Visit GameTime.co for details. Again, create an account, redeem our code OVERREACTION, 2 R's in Overreaction. $20 off. Boom. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Yeah, I did the boom.
I know. I was like, and instinctively,
I did it.
Because Felly is here, and I was waiting for him to hit the boom. But
That's all right.
It's fine. It's totally
He just
fine.
didn't know if it was okay to do it in the podcast.
It was a
By the
surprise
way,
boom.
If this was a flagship show.
Yes. Oh, all over it.
Go ahead. There it is.
Yeah,
There
a
you
surprise
go.
boom.
I gave you. I don't know why I channeled my inner John Madden
you were
there all
just
of a
like,
sudden. Wow. Get the game. Take the Game Time out. Wow. Put it on your phone.
How much would Madden have loved that Packers-Lions game yesterday in the slop?
Oh, my God. Would have loved it.
Right? Loved it.
You know who he would love? He would love Saquon Barkley, too.
Oh,
He would love him.
he's so good.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick
right?
Henry. Yeah. So
All
good.
right. What else you got?
Even how tough the Lions are. All right. Rich, last week you laughed at me when I said the NFC West was the best division.
Best division in
they
football.
are. And the NFC West is going to be the only division to get 3 playoff teams this year.
I still kind of dig the NFC North getting 3. I still dig it. You know? But Arizona's playing out. You know, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray is.
Right now, I thought, as we're looking at the playoff picture for those who are listening right now, there are 4 teams at present sniffing it. This is before the Buccaneers take on the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. We're recording this Monday morning because you're heading off to, you'll be on a plane
I'll be
to
on
Munich
a plane
during that game.
I'll be watching this game.
Bears,
in the sky.
49ers, and Rams are all 4-4. The Seahawks, who lost in overtime after forcing it at the last moment on the Rams in a wild-ass game
Geno
in
is
Seattle.
slinging it, man.
4-5, and there are the Cowboys. The Baker's dozen ranked 13th in a 16-team conference at 3-5. And then you've got the Vikings at 6-2, tied with the Eagles, who are a half game behind the Commanders, and the Packers a half game behind the Vikings and Eagles at 6-3. They're on their bye week this week as the Eagles take on the Cowboys. And then the Minnesota Vikings start their jaunt into the AFC South. Minnesota's next games after beating the Colts, they go deeper into the AFC South. They're at Jacksonville and at Tennessee before they visit Chicago.
Okay.
3-gamer on the road for Minnesota now. So I believe that was such a big win for Minnesota last night, 6-3.
Yeah.
And they're above the Packers right now. 6-2, and they're above the Packers right now.
Yeah.
And even if they were 6-3, they've already won in Lambeau.
Right.
So they've got that in their back pocket. That's my way of saying I still think the Packers are a playoff team.
Ooh, we're going to talk about them in a minute.
I know. And so I still believe in them. The bye couldn't come at a better time for them.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that if we are going to talk about the Packers in a second. So I won't go further down this road other than to say this, though, while we're here on the subject matter, because I believe if you're talking about the NFC West now, you don't have a Kyler Murray topic here.
I don't.
I thought we would come into this Overreaction Monday production with a subject matter being Kyler Murray is the MVP of the NFL.
Oh, really?
And I would have sat here and said to you
You would have thought about it.
that you're on the scent here.
Interesting.
Because it's tough to say he's an MVP over a quarterback that's won it twice already and whose team is 6-3.
Yeah, there are a bunch of guys ahead of him, but
it would be tough to say that, okay, if you're talking about a Lions team that is road grading anybody in their path right now, that is absolutely destroying anyone in front of them, and is on a heater that began in week 3 with a win in Arizona. And say Jared Goff, who doesn't miss a pass until the 2-minute warning of the first half these days, that it would be tough to say he's not the MVP of the league either. I'm just giving you those examples.
Josh Allen.
But right now, Josh Allen as well. Very good. Right now, and I'm kind of previewing what I'm saying on the flagship show later on.
I like this.
Right now, Kyler Murray is the higher register MVP candidate of 2024. Like, you see what Kyler Murray's doing out there in Arizona? He's pretty good. I mean, you see what he's doing? Like, he's tough to sack, and he's making throws, not making mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch of guys, and it's not really Marvin Harrison Jr. who was doing it.
No, he was non-existent on Sunday.
I mean, that tight end they have, Trey McBride's pretty good.
Beast.
I mean, James Conner, you see what he's doing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's happening right now in
Interesting.
Arizona. So I understand that you're saying the Rams are playing as well as they're playing.
Love the Rams.
That the Niners invariably, starting this week, will get healthy, McCaffrey back, and start being the Niners of old.
Yes.
And Arizona's playing the way that they're playing.
I think those three make it. I think Seattle.
That's what you're saying right now. That's where I'm saying what you're saying, where I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be an overreaction. You're saying it's the only team to get 3 because that's the way it goes. The only division to make 3 because, you know, there's only 3 wild card spots. So you get 2 there
and I know
in one division that you can't get 2 in another.
After I said the Bengals are making it, which would mean 3 in the North, but, you know.
I see.
Different.
You know, you don't have to weave it all together like it's a tapestry. That's usually my job on the flagship. I'll say this is an overreaction at this point. I don't know who's not making it out of the 3, though, that I just mentioned in the NFC West. Certainly with the way that the Cardinals are playing.
Cardinals have the easiest schedule down the stretch here.
Next up for them, they got the Jets coming in their house.
Ooh. It's sneaky interesting now.
I guess. 3-6.
The Jets kind of
Jets have never made the playoffs at 3-6.
They're
never.
You know what I mean? When
This is the team that's going to suddenly put it together.
And you're just like walking out towards the deep end, and you're like, how high can I?
Okay, they're going to mix cayenne pepper with the FEMA water that they're apparently not giving out in North Carolina.
We should try that.
And that'll be the drink.
We should try
that gets Rodgers, up and running in Arizona. I need to see it from the Jets a little bit more before I start.
Rich, this is a Jets-free zone.
Okay, very good. I did say that. Okay, even with the win. What else you got over there, Chris?
And I say this next one knowing how awesome the Lions are, but this is more about this team. The Commanders are going to be the 1 seed in the NFC.
No. I love the Commanders, dude. I love what they're doing.
So fun.
Jaden Daniels keeps on finding McLaurin, and he finds him at the right times, too, right? At the end of a game in Cincinnati to send everybody driving home safely. Yep. At the end of a first half, just when the Giants are starting to feel like they're in the game, maybe if they hold them to a field goal, they got this chance, they got that chance, who knows? And then he just finds them right in the end zone right before first half. Let's go into the locker room and tell the Giants not today. I mean, and the defense is balling out in a way that nobody thought that they could this year, just under Dan Quinn in 1 year,
Absolutely.
right? He's totally
after trading away the guys last year.
I understand it. But the Lions are the best team in the NFC, and I think it will be born out of everybody that they play. And they don't play each other.
They don't. Okay.
In the regular season. What a playoff game that would be. But Jaden Daniels will have to go to Detroit to win that one.
But the Lions already have a loss. Commanders are 7-2. What if the Lions stumble once down the stretch? There's a scenario.
They will.
There's a scenario in which Washington runs a table and maybe could sneak the 1 seed.
But the Lions right now are going on their AFC South jaunt. At Houston, home for Jacksonville, at Indianapolis. And then, they take on the Chicago Bears, who...
Hold your Bears thoughts for like a minute.
I will do it. There are some losable games,
Lions
obviously.
Still have to play Buffalo, still have to play San Francisco and Minnesota again.
Basically, Washington needs Detroit to slip up twice, and then
they have to run the table.
Pretty much.
But is there a team that Washington has on its schedule that you're picking against them?
Well, they've got Pittsburgh next, coming off a bye. Okay.
Fair.
What a fun game that is.
But Russell Wilson might,
No,
he's
all
not
right,
going to play at this level the whole year.
Are they going to sweep their division? So what are they going to do? They already swept the Giants. They're going to sweep Philadelphia? They're not going to lose once to Dallas, really?
No.
Okay.
What about Dallas gives you any hope that they could beat Washington?
That they're going to get everybody back.
I don't think it matters.
Micah Parsons is a game wrecker, pal.
Cool. Can he throw the ball and catch the ball and block? And
No, he cannot.
Okay.
I like what you're thinking, but
Okay.
I'm not picking against my preseason pick that looks really damn good right now, that the Lions go to the Super Bowl.
Lions can still go to the Super Bowl and be the 2 seed. That's all I'm saying.
I understand that they can. I don't think it will.
Fair.
What else?
We got to talk Bears. Nothing pains me more than what I'm about to say because I was so high on the Bears coming into the season.
Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
I'm not seeing.
Okay.
The Bears are wasting Caleb Williams.
Close. Basically, I'm saying that by what I'm about to say. Okay.
I love that I kind of know
Where's my camera right here? Ready?
There's your camera, yeah.
The Bears need to make Kliff Kingsbury an offer he can't refuse to be head coach next year.
They had him in the building. They had him.
Well, bring him back
the building.
And don't let him leave.
Do you remember they brought him in? Leave. Don't you remember they brought him in and we spent a considerable amount of Rich Eisen Show flagship time of saying that's the guy. He just was with him in college. He knows exactly what to do with him. He knows exactly the way he thinks. He knows exactly what buttons need to be pushed. He knows exactly what buttons to avoid being pushed. He knows how to exactly, coddle him if that's what's needed. He knows exactly what to do. He was the guy Lincoln Riley chose.
I know.
To be there.
Let's get him back.
For Caleb Williams.
Save Caleb Williams.
And the Bears went to Shane Waldron.
Who in an interview, Jackson Smith and Jigba said, is this thing on? Are we live?
Okay. So I understand that. I don't know why the Bears did that. We don't know if Caleb was like, yeah, no. We don't know. Because they gave Caleb essentially the playbook for the Bears at his pro day, dude.
We don't know that.
Like they basically started they used, as you know, Albert Breer came on our show and said that they used their top 30 visit time with Caleb. It was the only top 30 visit Caleb took. Is he took it to Chicago. They use that time to start installing best they can, whatever plays they can come up with or whatever they could do to start installing that in Caleb's mental Rolodex.
Well, whatever plays they put in there don't work.
I understand that. And the thing that totally blew us away in advance of the Bears win in London over Jacksonville, where Caleb absolutely looked like he was ascending and looking like he was building and being more confident and ripping throws off his back foot, and he knew exactly where to go with it, and he was really confident, and so on and so forth. That Stacey Dales was speaking to the Bears before the game and found out that a couple weeks before, the team insisted a first 15 scripted start being used and installed. And we're like, wait a minute, they weren't? No, and it was no, they had a list of preferred plays that were just being called during the game's first 15 plays in real time, not as if they were practicing it all week. These are the first 15 plays. This is what we're doing. And Eberflus told them, go ahead and speak to Shane Waldron about it. And they did, and they started doing that, hoping that it would get over the first quarter woes for this team. And you saw more first quarter woes over the last two games, once in Washington, now in Arizona.
Yep.
Caleb comes out like completely overhyped for every game, it appears.
Yeah, you said
then
that.
He finally starts settling in, and then he starts making the plays and the throws that they want him to do, or they're asking him to do. And it kind of feels like there's something wrong. There's something off. They're not all on the same page. And obviously, Kliff Kingsbury doing for the number 2 overall pick with a group of people that coming into the season weren't nearly as heralded as rookie friendly and rookie supporting friendly as Keenan Allen and Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. But now you're seeing Terry McLaurin, and you're seeing Noah Brown, and you're seeing Austin Eckler, and you're seeing Zach Ertz, and you're seeing how well it's going, and you're seeing how on time and in rhythm it is, and you're seeing a team that's leading their division in a shocker. that coming into the season everybody thought was as tough as the NFC North. Okay. And then you're seeing success there, and the Bears now regressing to a 500 team. And they had Kliff there, but they didn't do it. And the question is why? And there's got to be a reason for that. And putting it all together, the guy that they should go and say, here's the money. Okay. Here, if this is their gumption, if they do want to, because Eberflus has got his finger on the defensive pulse of this team. I don't think you can argue that. Okay. If they do want to just flip it over and say, we're starting anew and we're building everything. It's all about Caleb around here.
It should be.
And we're going to hire an offensive mindset to hook up with the guy and get the defensive coordinator for the defense. They should take every McCaskey dollar on the planet and ask Ben Johnson of the Lions, how'd you like to stay in division? That's the guy. That's the guy. What else you got over there, Chris?
Last one. Let's stay in the North. My Super Bowl pick is not looking good. Packers, Texans, they're both in rough shape, Rich. Didn't like what I saw on Sunday. The Packers are going to miss the playoffs.
I don't think you could say that.
I don't feel good about it.
No,
Jordan Love is hurt. I tried to tell you last week that they should start Malik Willis this week, going into the bye week. Let Jordan Love get fully healthy. He does not look right.
He doesn't.
And by not looking right and not playing right, he's turning it over at an alarming rate. And he just looks off, and the whole team looks off, and I don't like it, and they're going in the wrong direction.
Let's hope the bye week does him some wonders. Because I think Malik Willis performing as well as he's performed, when he had to beat Indianapolis and he had to beat Tennessee, right? And he had to come off the bench and save the day at Jacksonville. I mean, Malik Willis won the AFC South for them, in a way that he couldn't do in Tennessee.
Yep.
But at Chicago, home for the Niners, Thanksgiving night against Miami.
This is a tough stretch.
Detroit on a Thursday night.
After the bye.
Bro.
This is
you got to have. This is when Jordan Love meets the road. This is when last year Jordan Love started playing really well. This is when Jordan Love made that big-ass contract happen. That's when Jordan Love on a Thanksgiving went into Detroit and punked him. That's when Jordan Love started making some serious hay, and maybe he's a money player. Maybe he's a November, December player.
That would be great.
I know that.
But
because they've got a defense to do it, and they got a run game to do it.
Can't do it if you're not healthy.
And they got weapons to do it. I know. That's why I'm saying, let's just hope the bye week does him some wonders. Because, again, he's still young. Kids bounce back. I don't know if you've noticed in your mid-40s.
Oh, my gosh.
Things ache in the morning. Things ache in the morning that didn't used to ache.
Oof.
Okay, kids rebound.
Yep.
It's Jordan Love's show. It's his show, man.
I'm feeling good about it.
And quarterbacks sometimes got to play hurt and get through it. And so you don't move around well. You know what you don't do? You don't flip the ball in the direction of your opponent's front seven in the rain right before halftime. Just eat it. Go down.
Eat it.
Throw it away. Yep. There was at one point Brady during the game on a 2nd and 1 that wound up with them turning it over on downs against the Lions, where he was going on and on and on and on with the football, still hanging on, looking for a play. And Brady even jumped in, which Brady doesn't usually do during the play-by-play. He usually, lets Burkhart do the describing, and without his voice, he screamed out, throw it away. Brady screamed out, throw it away, and then was very critical afterwards, saying, you can't do that. You've got 2 more plays.
Yep.
You've got to live for another day. You can't do that. You already threw one to the other team, trying to make something out of nothing. So Love's just got to play more under control, even if he is banged up, and show that he is a money player in November and December, and the Packers should be fine. That's an overreaction. Now let's get to our predictions.
Predictions.
I don't remember what my prediction was last week. Do we remember what my prediction was last week?
I don't, but I'm hot. I'm on 2 in a row.
You are?
I said the Rams are going to win the West.
Okay.
And they look good.
All right.
3rd straight win.
Very good.
Next week, Rich, the Eagles are going to absolutely blast the Cowboys next week.
Okay.
And it's finally over for Mike McCarthy. He's done.
You think he's going to get fired next week?
Yes, because it's going to be so loud. They are going to get booed at home. Fans are going to leave early.
Wow.
Jerry's going to see this, and the heat is going to be so hot. He's going to think about it on Monday. Tuesday, done. It's finally over.
So you're saying the overreaction, or you're overreacting already?
I'm already overreacting.
I kind of like that. So how about sometimes you can preview. I think we found our rhythm finally on this final segment.
I do like this segment, but it's
spitballing
like,
here because
we're
you
always
have
spitballing.
trouble like treating this as a predictor of what people are going to overreact to,
No,
even though it's wrong.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just I'm in
you just
overreaction mode the whole
I know,
time.
right. So you just need to be you.
Thank you.
I feel like we have put constraints on you being you.
For this
being
final
a good
segment?
coach, I
That's
should
right.
be able
That's
to.
right.
You got to fit you don't have to just.
That's right.
You got to fit your system to the players.
Rich,
not your players to the system.
Don't be a Shane Waldron. Be a Kliff Kingsbury.
I just did.
Thank you.
So, yeah, my prediction was off. I said there's something wrong with the Ravens.
Oh, there's
I
nothing
thought that the Broncos would. No.
There's nothing wrong with the Ravens.
So I said that the Broncos would, and I was close with Lamar missing practice for 2 days.
I know. It looked like he was. What's going on
You
there?
know what Lamar doesn't have to do?
Doesn't need to
practice every day.
No,
It's not that he doesn't need practice. Everybody needs
feels
practice.
like he doesn't need practice.
All right, so here's my prediction.
Okay.
Put it up on the screen right here. I think the Lions go in and beat the Texans, and everyone's going to be like, C.J. Stroud isn't all that. They're going to say C.J. Stroud isn't all that.
But he is.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You
think
saw
so,
it
too.
last year.
No, I think
and
he's
you
really
could
good.
You could see that he's missing throws because there's a little bit more pitter-patter in the chest, a little bit more pitter-patter in the feet because of that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be starting to see the rush a little bit. I think the Lions are of all the teams that you don't want to face, when you might stop looking down the field and start looking at your protection, the last team you'd want to face is the team that's coming into their house.
And we're obviously
So-
taping this before the trade deadline happens. And I
What's
think
it, Darius Smith
they
might go to
make
Detroit?
A move. Yeah, I think they get a move and get a rusher. And that's,
But I don't blame it on the kid, is what I'm saying. C.J. Stroud isn't all that.
I'm with you. A little sophomore slump. It's all good.
And I think, Nico Collins coming back will help. And
Tank Dell finally had a huge
but
game on
whatever it
Thursday.
is, just like, either move him out of the pocket. Get somebody staying in the chip. Let's help out here.
He's so good on the run. More
The problem
bootlegs.
is coming up the middle, though. The rush is coming in his right
Exactly.
up the middle.
The center and guards are getting absolutely roasted.
They are.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Good stuff. Now then, next week,
Okay.
as you know, we have a compendium to this podcast on the flagship
That is a huge word.
show called Overreaction Monday on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Right?
Yep.
So we have Overreaction Monday, the pod, out on a Monday. And then on the show, Overreaction Monday on a Tuesday. So what we're going to do next week, because I'm flying all day Monday next
All day
week.
Monday. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are actually going to record this on a Tuesday.
Okay. Great.
So Overreaction Monday is coming out on a Tuesday. And then on the flagship show, we'll have Overreaction Monday on a Wednesday.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
What the Football is recording on Monday as well. We're going to pop that out this week on Monday. You know who the guest is?
I don't.
Me.
Oh.
We're making it easy because everybody's got to get to the
I
airport.
know everyone's leaving.
We're making it easy.
We're on so
And
many
it's
flights
always
today.
fun. I personally want to sit there with Suze and listen to Amy
Just
Trask
go off on Dennis Allen.
opine on a day that Dennis Allen gets fired. Knowing her, she's going to take a high road.
No, she won't dunk on him, but
but
she's
part of her, there's somebody on the left shoulder saying, "Dunk, Amy, dunk."
inner fist bumping.
That's coming.
All right.
To your ear gate. For Chris, I'm
back.
Rich. That's it for Overreaction Monday on a Monday. Next week, we're on a Tuesday. And keep an ear out and an eye out if you're watching our YouTube channel for What the Football with me and Susie and Amy later on Monday. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.